Sometimes it feels like people care about what you're going through, and and they make comments and stuff like that, and that makes you feel bad, and
They care that
drags
they
you
actually
down
do
further.
something.
You know.
Yeah, it's a judgment-free zone, this show. The only person I judge on this show is Mike partially, because that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, you're way too hard on yourself, but deprecating humor is probably one of the best devices. Even Alex Trebek talked about that. Making fun of yourself is one of the best devices of humor that you could have.
Yeah, if you have a good sense of humor about yourself, then, like, I don't know, I don't got no time for people like that. Mike, I'm glad to hear you're okay. If you ever want to chat about cleaning up or boozing or anything like that on the show, you're welcome to bring up the topic of conversation.
Yeah, we're hanging on. The next time you have the cod pod, I know Toda has a new invention.
Okay, looking forward to that. We do have Edna on the line, Mike. Did Toto want to finish his thought? I mean, we have to go serious back into the chaos.
Yeah, we can't stay serious way too long.
Yeah.
We've got a sort of wheel Edna in every now and again, and we can't inflict on the general public, so we put her on this.
Okay. All right, Edna, you are on the line with Toda. Edna, welcome to the show.
Oh my God, I didn't know he was going to so much trouble.
Well, that's his friend Mike, Edna. That's not Toda. That's his friend Mike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can go back to my psychopathic self.
Sure.
Yeah. Is there a difference?
So, it's not you. It's just the music, and the distance. The distance between us. It really hurts me. That's why we need to break up.
Okay.
I
They
don't
break up
want to.
every episode.
I treat the relationship like a diet. I cheat on you 3 times a week.
You only eat 3 times a week? Oh, I guess you cheat on your diet 3 times a week. All right, Toda, you are being dumped again by Edna. What say you to that?
Upset I am.
Okay.
No,
Guys,
the fuck?
the call, Mike, thank you for the call. Keep your head up, brother, and take care of yourself.
Thank you. Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah. Well, we'll be thinking about you this Sunday, and hope to speak to you on Monday. And yeah, we hope to hear that you've stayed strong. But if you haven't, as David said, no judgment.
No judgment.
Serious Sundays on a Monday. We look forward to it. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care, guys. Take care.
Oh my God, Tony Five. What did we learn tonight? Like at the end of the show, the Jerry Springer show, there's prostitutes and fighting and shoes being thrown and screaming and clothes coming off and security guards having to get between guests. And yet every episode, Jerry Springer stands up there at the very end and he gives his Jerry Springer's final thought. He takes the chaos, the absurdity, the surreal nature of that show, and he turns it into a meaningful thought where he really wraps up things nicely. What is the Jerry Springer final thought tonight, Tony?
My one will be called the Tony's Only Thought. Okay.
Okay, what is it?
And what I'd like to say is, David, in the hour that we've spent together, we've realised that there you go. That the show makes no difference whether you turn up half an hour before or 6 seconds before the show.
Okay. Still terrible?
Yes, absolutely terrible. We've learned that Andrew is constantly on the lookout for new jobs.
Jerry. Andrew, how's the resume looking? He's been editing it all night. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up from Andrew.
Jerry.
We've learned that in the absence of sane callers, that we will put anybody on air.
That is so true. Tony, my next guest you're going to love. They are a boyfriend and girlfriend who broke up unceremoniously. They got in a huge fight, and it was really toxic and awful. A bunch of years went by, and now they're doing an improv comedy show and touring the country together and talking about their breakup live on stage. I'm looking forward to talking to them. They're really creative.
Is it Kim and Kanye?
What were their names?
Their names, thank you for asking. I'm so glad that you're going to ask me that question. It's a great question, and I'm so glad that you asked it because I'm completely prepared to answer that question. And the guests are here. They're about to be on the show. And their names, of course, and I definitely have their names, are Steph Toller and Patty McDonald, Tony.
Steph Toller and Patty McDonald. That sounds great. I'll stay on listening.
Okay, Tony 5, thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me, David. Have a great week.
This is the Whatever Show. I'm David Cooper. More up next. For all your window treatment.
Jesus fucking Christ. But then again, you know that if everybody's getting fired, again, then you know they're doing a good job. Somebody obviously said something, but I think Ben from he seems like a fucking Ross type of fella. A very overly friendly Jolly Green Giant. Almost. See, oh no, that is a plumber. Yeah. Yeah, that's an idea. I feel like it's gonna be super though.
Important work from a financial perspective, but also from a self-governance perspective. I'm Lula Kulda.
Canada's drug regulator approved Moderna's COVID vaccine for infants and preschoolers. That makes it the first shot approved for that age group here in Canada. Health Canada says years old, Deputy Chief Public Health Officer Dr. Howard Hughes says that the next step is to help parents make informed decisions for their kids.
The things we certainly would like to do is get as much information out there so that parents can make an informed decision. I think it is so important. It's not something that we're forcing on anyone, but it's certainly that we want to make sure that the parents are comfortable.
News that Canada has a good supply of Moderna pediatric vaccines, and they will be shipped to provinces to begin administering doses shortly. And maybe you saw something about it online tonight, but I can tell you that Drake was not arrested in Sweden. The Canadian rapper has been trending on social media because of unconfirmed reports that he and his security team were busted for weed at a Swedish nightclub. Well, the hashtag Free Drake, which was began trending after that, but according to hip-hop website XXL, the report's not true, adding they've already spoken with a Drake representative who confirmed that the arrested in Sweden rumors are totally false. And from your Dormez-vous Weather Center today, it is going to be sunny. High of 27 degrees, and then it stays sunny, and it gets hot. Yeah, it looks like there's a heat wave coming to Montreal as temperatures staying at or above 30 in the forecast right now for 4 straight days. So, and Wednesday's at 29, so that could even get bumped up there. So it's going to get hot over the next couple of days here in the city. Keep cool and check in on those who need some help staying cool. 16 degrees downtown. Your next CTV News update is at 4 o'clock.
With special guest host David Cooper. This is the Overnight Show, the Late Showgram. I am your host, David Cooper. You are listening to the iHeartRadio Talk Network. Well, Toronto Fringe is on, and we are here with two performers who have a couple shows in that festival, as well as a tour. They are somewhat unique. They used to be together. They are now broken up. Their show is called Too Much Information Improvised, and I love it already. Let's introduce them right away. Steph Holler, welcome to the show.
Hello.
And yes, and Patty McDonald, welcome to you as well.
Hello.
All right, so tell me about the show. You guys had a messy relationship. You're now exes. You're performing together. Tell me all about it. This concept I love.
Yeah, so we are a comedy duo, and we have been a comedy duo for about 3 years. But 7 years ago, we used to make out. Yeah.
Your clothes off, maybe?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
I once did that. It wasn't for me. Never again. All right, so you guys used to be together, a couple. Like, how close of a couple?
Well, just to get into it, a little primer. Steph was dating my best friend at the time, and she left him for me, and it got extremely messy after that. A good chunk of time that was just a mess. That is pretty much I would say, the meat of our show. It's a storytelling-based improv show, so we tell real stories from our lives, past, present, and we try to predict where it's going to go next. And yeah, we get into the nitty gritty of it.
I love this. I call this style of performing reverse gonzo. Whereas gonzo reporting or gonzo journalism, you go and you live with a bunch of crazies and take on their lifestyle. Reverse gonzo is when you force the audience into your life. That's basically, you just thrust them into the dysfunction of the breakup. Is that the basic premise?
Yeah, pretty much. We usually try to start from a different place every night. And we do that by asking the audience what's something that they would like to say to their ex. And then we try saying whatever that phrase is to one another, and see where it brings us.
Do you ever get "I'm sorry"? Because if my ex is listening and I know she lives in an area where we have an affiliate with coverage, I am sorry, okay? I said it. Have you started with that one before?
I think we might have gotten it once.
Yeah, it's usually more angry.
Yeah. Stuff we can't say on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't have to.
My favorite, though, was "Thanks for taking notes." That's something they said to a person that they dated because they broke up, and then they had like what would some call a post-mortem. After the break, I kept asking questions. They had a post-mortem, and he was taking notes as to why they broke up and what went wrong in the relationship.
That's diabolical, using someone's own words and points against them in note form. So you broke up 7 years ago. Are you still in touch with the friend who you left for Patty, Steph, and Pat?
No, he deleted me on Facebook. So I think that's a friendship that has run its course at this point. We did get permission though from him before we started doing the show.
Yeah, he's away. He kind of moved on and has a different life now. I've lost touch with him as well. So
okay, well,
millennial
they ended up being best friends again.
I don't know what is worse.
He told me to tell me sorry.
So who broke up with who 7 years ago?
It kind of just fizzled. It was one of those ones that we were just secretly dating for a long time because we never wanted to reveal the fact that we were dating to the third party. So it was just all secret dates over 6 months. And it was pretty clear that I was more in than Patty was. And so as revenge, I started dating other people. And then met someone who I married.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, this story is so my heart because I used to collaborate with my ex-wife for a while on the radio. No longer. All right. So how long after breaking up do you two start collaborating comedically, start doing improv together?
So there was a good chunk of time where we were just kind of would hang out occasionally. I met Steph's new partner, and we get along surprisingly really, really well. He's a fantastic human being. Anyways, I'm talking to Steph. I'm doing another comedic project, and I'm like, I was doing musical comedy, and while I was up on stage, I felt like my banter was really not great and up to snuff. So I was like, I kind of need to improve my improv skills. And Steph said, hey, there's this program. It's not Second City. It's these other people. It's different. It's kind of cool. And I was like, oh, and it's called The Assembly. And I was like, oh, well then, I'll sign up. I'll do a class to improve my improv skills. And we were in the same class together. That was not planned. We just were like, oh, we're taking the same, it's not just class. It was like a course that lasted like over a year. And that entire time we were working on improv, and then we started to realize we had good chemistry on stage. And we at the time I couldn't really pinpoint it. I was like, I like working with Steph. I don't know why. And then we started kind of, I think it was Steph who was like, we should do a duo thing. We should try to do a duo improv. But before the show was even a concept, it was just, let's go up on stage as a duo and do, jams and stuff like that.
Yeah. And at that point, we wanted to kind of try to figure out what set us apart as a duo. And you're like, well, there is that one thing that sets us apart.
Do you get a lot of heads turning when you say the one thing? The fact that you used to be together and you broke up in a messy fashion?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite performances that we've ever done, it was the first time we ever did it, because we had been working in the improv community just as a duo, without revealing this fact to the world. And so it was a hilarious show the one day when we revealed to all of our friends basically that we had a previous relationship. And it was really funny to watch the whole room go, oh, that's why you guys are so weird together. And I always thought that you kind of had a weird relationship.
Are you guys, were you comfortable going over the personal stuff, going over the painful stuff, going over the messy stuff right away? Or did you go from just kind of collaborating, not saying you used to date, and easing
down and get we've had a lot of sessions like rehearsal sessions where we were just telling stories and getting details, but the first couple of those sessions were difficult. Not easy to talk about. And just after this month with the pandemic, I mean, I feel pretty
Yeah. We have like a need for it. Anything that one of us doesn't want to talk about, we will talk about it. But at this point, we kind of talk about everything. We talk about the details of we crying in bars. We talk about Patty writing very insincere letters to me. Yeah, we always try